So apparently PC World got to have access to one of the Frontier Edition Vega cards from AMD, obviously. And it seems interesting at first because they say the early benchmarks show that Vega Frontier Edition beating the Titan XP. So the initial thought is, awesome, sweet, yes! Oh my god, finally there's competition in the graphics card world again. But then you realize further on it's not what you'd expect to see. And I shall explain further. So basically, PC World did get their hands on a preview of the Radeon RX Vega Frontier Edition production cards. And my cat chimes in. The card wields 64 compute units, which works out to 4,009, basically damn near the same stats of a Fury X, right? It has 16 gigabytes of HBM2 memory with a wide 2048-bit bus, clocked at around 1800 megahertz. Okay, that's not bad at all. They claim 25 teraflops of half-precision floating point 16 compute performance and 13 teraflops of single precision floating point 32 compute versus 16. I don't know if I read it wrong last time. So on paper, it puts the Vega ahead of the Titan XP, which offers 12 teraflops of floating point 32 by a hair. But the demonstration that AMD gave to PC World, the company configured two identical PCs, save for the graphics card, outfitted with Ryzen 1800X processors, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, to multiple 4K panels. Even the mouse and keyboard were the same on both setups. One system was equipped with a Frontier Edition graphics card, and obviously the other one had a Titan XP. And I quote, "In the given time we had to run the tests, we saw the Frontier Edition outscore the Titan XP by 28% in Kasha and Creo to 50% in SolidWorks. We also ran Max and Cinebench, a popular OpenGL benchmark in which the Frontier Edition was about 14% faster," PC World noted, and I quote, "While impressive, it's worth noting that AMD is pitting a professional graphics card up against the competition's top-tier consumer-grade card, and benchmarks are professional applications as well. And spec view performance traditionally runs much faster on NVIDIA's Quadro cards. So for most people, it would make a hell of a lot more sense to put this AMD card up against the Quadro card. But also keep in mind that the Quadro card is $6,000, and the AMD equivalent is $1,800. Does this take away from some validity? To the average PC gamer, I'd say so. For the average guy wanting to know what the hell can this do when it comes to gaming, this pretty much doesn't mean jack shit. But to someone who actually does run these programs, who actually does do workload stuff, 3D modeling, render, etc., this might be quite a revelation. And considering that it's around $5,000 cheaper, that's pretty huge there. But as far as gamers go, this isn't really tickling our nuts with a feather. They go on to say that gaming performance, AMD isn't sharing much of shit. They're actually keeping very mum, is the word, I believe the term is, about their gaming ability with Vega, because I guess maybe the drivers aren't there yet, most likely. Maybe that's what they're working on right now. Who knows? I mean, they still got a month to go before the consumer grade cards hit. PC World was actually allowed to play Doom using Vulkan and Prey using DX11 and Sniper Elite 4. AMD uses Sniper Elite 4 a lot. Using DirectX 12 on both cards, with the game set to their highest settings, and I quote, "For what it's worth, PC World wasn't able to tell a difference when switching between the Frontier Edition and the Titan XP." So, yeah, they weren't allowed to see a benchmarking thing up the side of the screen. There was no thing showing you exactly what the fuck the card was doing. It's just like, okay, now blind test. And frankly, a blind test doesn't prove much. I mean, for real? If we put I don't know, a 980 Ti next to a 1070 or 1080, let's use 1080, and it's in a game where you don't have a benchmark thingy up, same two PC setup, except one has a 980 Ti, the other one has a 1080, and you're playing two games maxed out at 1080p, you're probably not going to tell a difference there. So basically what this could be saying is the Vega is on par with the Titan XP as far as they can tell blind taste tests. But really, let's say the Vega was doing maybe 45 to 50 FPS and the Titan XP was doing a solid 60. It'd be kind of hard to tell that 10 FPS difference. But that's just me personally. I'm trying to be objective here, even though, it sounds cool to hear this. On the other hand, it's not really telling us much about the benchmarks to really know what the fuck we're dealing with here. how likely is a normal person going to tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi? Anyway, to end this update, the takeaway here is that Vega is looking good so far, both in professional chores and gaming. To extrapolate much more, however, would be premature at this point. We need to know power requirements, price, and real-world gaming benchmarks. RX Vega is set to launch late July, and that's pretty much where they ended. And I guess I'm going to kill it there too, because it's still just speculation. I was expecting a bit more from this article, something that would really give me a chance to get slightly excited. Though it's doing better than I hoped. I mean, at least the Vega in this iteration is capable of keeping up with a 1080 Ti. But let's keep in mind, supposedly, the consumer version will be cheaper and be a hell of a lot faster in gaming, according to Roger Kadori. That's going to do it for me. Can't actually give more of a shit than me in anything. Rate, comment, subscribe, share shit if you so choose. If not, to hell with it. I'm not going to force you to smash like buttons and whatnot. Who cares? There's better things going on in the world.